Seems like we have State Rep Courtney Curtis. State Rep Courtney Curtis, are you there?
Yes, good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for joining us. My first question is, I've never heard of the Fannie Lou Hamer Democratic Coalition. Is that a new coalition?
It is. It's something that's formed over the course of the past month, but we've had relationships with each other in terms of working for our communities. And at this time, it was a great time to go ahead and form a coalition to make sure the interests of our community were met.
Gotcha. Is Charlie Dooley supporting you in this?
I want to speak for the county executive. We're moving forward, and this is all about the leadership that will remain in place going forward. So I won't comment on his involvement.
Have you had a chance, has this coalition had a chance to sit and talk to Rick Stream?
Yes, several members, but most importantly, the county councilwoman, Hazel Irby, has led the serious negotiations with regard to potentially providing support, and the rest of the organization follows her lead.
So there were negotiations. What did Rick Stream agree to do to get your support?
The most important thing is just being willing to sit at the table to start. You know, the Stenger campaign hasn't necessarily been willing to do that, and they've shown the lack of regard for the community during his tenure. That's why I can't talk about anything positive with regards to what he plans to do for the community. The only thing he does is talk negatively. Representative Stream, he's a different type of individual, and given that I've worked with him personally in the legislature, he's an honest man, and we can trust that he's willing to work with us. Anything outside of that, I trust the county councilwoman's judgment.
So Rick Stream listens to. That's the thing that was the deciding difference. Is that Rick Stream sits and talks and listens?
Not at all. Obviously, we need more than that, but he feels or has the same sentiments with regards to some of the issues that affect the minority community. He's worked diligently in the State House to ensure that, monies were put in the budget. He's willing to sit and talk. He's a respectful individual, respectful of people in their positions in their communities. And, more importantly, he's just, you can trust that he is the person that he says he is.
What are some of the policy initiatives that you agree with him on?
Policy issues on the county level, because I'm at the state level, I haven't really looked into that. But in terms of his budget experience, that'll be a great deal for the county.
Sure.
The simple fact that the candidate Stenger is already in debt, and Mr. Stream or Representative Stream hasn't been in debt yet. It's a big thing. It shows how he'll potentially govern.
He's for voter ID laws. Are you in favor of voter ID laws?
Not me personally, but what happens on the state and the national level are two completely different things. The local level is very localized, and some of those issues will not come up. And the influence that Mr. Stream would have as only one of 7 members on the council won't affect any of those laws.
Okay. Has he called for Bob McCullough to step down?
I can't say that he specifically said that, but he's definitely intimated that he'd like for a special prosecutor to be used in, situations where there's gun violence from police and constituents. So that's a positive start, whereas Mr. Stenger won't do any of that. And he's so closely tied to Mr. McCullough that he said that he will not abandon him at this point.
Yeah. The Stingers campaign is saying things like Rick Stream would not allow President Obama to show up on the ballot and try to get him off the ballot. Does that concern you at all?
We all have a past. I'm not going to make any excuses for what Representative Stream has done, but Mr. Stenger has no excuses for his, past as well. If you look at the two on paper, they're both Republicans. In my eye, I'll take the one that's a true Republican over the person that's just, switching over to the Democratic side just to win an election.
Mm-hmm. Are you supporting any other Republicans?
No. This is simply about the county executive and changing the dynamics of power within the Democratic Party. It's been too long that the African-American community has been disregarded. And throughout this entire Mike Brown situation and other situations, the support of the Democratic Party has not been there, and that ends today and yesterday.
It seems to me you agree that it's pretty radical what you're doing, no? Or no?
It's pretty what?
Is it pretty radical what you're doing, stepping out, supporting a Republican?
I don't think so. I mean, once people start acting like sheep, the only thing you could expect is the things that sheep normally get, and that's what they've always been getting.
Yeah.
In order to change things, we have to make changes. We have to vote on the issues, and we do have to be more educated about those that we support. It makes no reason to blindly support anyone if they are not willing to go to bat for you and your community. So that ends today.
The African American community, like yourself, is saying that they haven't been represented. However, Charlie Dooley has been an African American county executive for 10 years. Hazel Irving has been a longtime councilwoman from there. How can the black and the African American community not be representative if two major players in county politics are African American?
Those are just two cogs in the wheel. The way that County Executive Dooley ran his administration is completely different than, things will be going forward. County Councilwoman Irby has made tremendous strides in terms of bringing the elected officials in the county together and getting them to support her in her efforts to, change the dynamics of power within the Democratic Party. So I'm confident that things will be different going into the future. I just got here. I've only been elected for a year and a half. So the young generation will make sure that it continues to stay. It won't be business as usual going forward.
Courtney Curtis, I guess the $64,000 question is, how many votes can you deliver to Rick Stream?
You'll see on election day. It doesn't take that many, though.
So how many do you think you can deliver?
We'll deliver the margin at least.
Give me, outside of budgetary items, is there one policy initiative that you are in agreement with Rick Stream?
Actually, I negotiated with him on the student transfer bill. I actually had an amendment to allow for money to be used from the Children's Service Fund to provide much-needed services, to the county unaccredited school districts.
Right.
He agreed on that. So, his support of that was tremendous. So if we can start there, we can go anywhere.
And I think the Children's Services Fund sits with millions of dollars in which Charlie Dooley has power over and refuses to release any of those funds and or appoint the people to do it, right?
That may be your characterization. Unfortunately, it hasn't been used in a manner in which it could extremely impact St. Louis County or North County. The fact that, early on things were done where it didn't make it to the poorest communities and they're taxed for it as well, that was extremely disappointing. But me and Mr. Representative Stream actually had a conversation about that. And, just because it's politics, I said, if we actually get there, we'll have an opportunity to make more changes.
Courtney.
So he's open-minded, and given that he supported the amendment on the transfer bill to allow money to come into the county, I'm confident that we'll be able to continue working together going forward.
Courtney Curtis, State Representative, thank you for your time. Let's join ABC News, already in progress.